good win last week. I thought our team responded well to an emotional win at Miami and then going back to work. And, very workmanlike, I thought, about the ball game. Certainly some things that we continue to coach on, try to get better, but for the most part played really good. It was also very good to play a lot of guys. I mean, that always helps your morale, and it's been good to really have some film to get after some of those backups. And now you got them on film, you can kind of capture the moment a little bit better than maybe just practice tape. So I think from that standpoint, very, very productive week for us, good win. Florida State this weekend, just like Coastal was last week, this is the biggest game of the year for us. This is a conference game, it's a division game, so it's a big game for both teams. And for us, it's just the next one, and our focus continues to be on just trying to get better as a football team, and keep working toward our goals. That's what we're really all about. Look forward to seeing Coach Bowden. He's just, I mean, he's a legend. I mean, I've grown up my whole life following the great coaches, Coach Bryant, Coach Paterno, and Coach Bowden. So to have the opportunity to be in a ball game with Coach Bowden is a thrill. So look forward to getting to see him a little bit before the game, as usual. But offensively, you look at this team, they're extremely dangerous. The whole team, as of late, has really gotten it together and is playing some good football. A couple of big wins in a row for them, a couple of dramatic wins in a row for them down at the wire. And certainly they'll gain a lot of confidence from that. But offensively, they're scoring a lot of points. They're the #1 offense in the league. Really talented. They try to get the ball out quick, get the ball in space. That's what they do. They've done a good job of spreading people out, creating matchups. They've got a bunch of receivers with a bunch of catches. They're running back. Thomas is running extremely well. He's a guy we recruited. He had 186 yards rushing against NC State. So, they're starting to click on all cylinders offensively. Veteran offensive line. A bunch of guys that kind of went through the wars last year. Now all those guys are back, and they're a talented bunch. They're athletic. They play hard. They're impressive when you watch them on film. And then their quarterback is, he makes them go. Seems like every week we look up, we're playing a great quarterback, and this guy's as good as any we've played. The kid from Georgia Tech's a very good player, and a different type of guy, but very dangerous. Riley Skinner, Dalton from TCU, is an outstanding quarterback. Now you got to play Ja'Cory Harris, and now you play Bonner. So just another big challenge for us defensively in trying to deal with Ponder. He's a very, very good player. Likes to run the football. That's the thing that, if you just ask me, one thing that worries me a little bit is his ability to run and the fact that he really likes to run. I mean, he runs with some purpose. He's a tough guy, can make all the throws, does a good job of spreading the ball around, and he doesn't get sacked very often. A lot of that's their style of play. They don't hold the ball. The ball comes out on time. So we'll have to do a great job of trying to affect the quarterback. I think that's going to be critical, obviously, just like it has in those other games. We have got to affect him and get him, out of his comfort zone, and not where he can sit in there and just play in rhythm, and then when he does run it, we got to hit it. So I think that's important. For us, it always starts with stopping the run. We've got to stop the run. It'll be no different this week. We got to. In this game in particular, I think it's going to be critical that we tackle in space because of their style of play and how they spread you out. There's going to be a lot of one-on-one tackles, and we have got to tackle in space. That right there is a big-time critical factor in this ball game. Is how we handle that. And then we're always looking to create turnovers. We've done a good job of that this year, and that's got to continue. We've got to be an opportunistic defense and get our hands on balls, tip balls, break on balls, strip balls, and we've got to create turnovers and create momentum from a defensive standpoint. But I think the thing that we've got to do a better job of in this game, in particular we didn't do a good job against Miami, is those chunk plays, because that's, when you look at Florida State's offense, they're the same type of deal. They get a lot of big plays, chunk plays, just like Miami did. You know, when we go down to Miami and 51 plays, we really contained them extremely well. But 10 plays, we gave up 282 yards. You know, it's a miracle we won the game. But you know, we had some turnovers that helped us and some big plays on offense to kind of offset it. But that's something we got to do a better job of, is containing the big plays. And that goes back to tackling in space. It goes back to playing technique, fundamentals, doing the right things from an alignment standpoint, playing with your eyes, and trying to contain those big plays. They're going to make some plays, but we've got to make them go the distance. We can't give big chunk plays and let them get big scores. If we do that, then that'll be an advantage for us. Look at their defense. That's typical Florida State. Very aggressive, athletic. They're talented over there. They've got, you know, outstanding linebackers. They got a bunch of veteran guys in the secondary that played a bunch of ball. They've got 3 kids from South Carolina that'll be jacked up to come in here and play. You know, the defensive line has probably been the biggest thing for them. When you look at their defense, is they've had some injuries. You know, they lose a leader like Thacker up front. You know, Dakota Watson's been out some, been hurt, but they've had to play some young guys up front. They're very talented players, guys we've recruited, and you know, they're just freshmen, but they're starting to get those guys back together and doing a good job. So we'll have to execute. We'll have to make plays. You know, can't beat ourselves. And I think, you know, Kyle Parker's going to have another big game. He's going to have to play well, make plays, and continue his maturity. This is another great opportunity and hopefully a big step for him. In this ball game, I think special teams will be critical. As far as the coverage units on both teams, how we cover, you know, how they cover, how we cover. Ball security in the special teams, I think that's going to be a big part of it, and definitely think it'll be a factor. But you know, they're a good team. They're a very good team, but I really think it's as I tell our team all the time, it's just really more about us. It's about us because we're good enough. You know, we're good enough. We don't make excuses. We just try to focus on getting better, focus on our execution, our attention to detail. You know, just having a great week of focus and preparation. That's really what we're, you know, trying to do. And both teams will be excited to play this game, but the most excited team isn't going to win. The most prepared team is going to win, and the team that executes the best is going to win. And so that's kind of what we talk about. And, I know that obviously this is a big game for everybody, but you know, one of the things to tell these guys is, you know, don't get caught up in the hype of a ball game. You know, we got a job to do. Just like you don't get caught up in when things are going bad, you don't get caught up in that, or you move on from a Miami game, you know, to the next game. You know, this is just the next game for us. Certainly, everybody understands the importance of it, but it's more about, you know, focus on what it takes to win the ball game as opposed to the hype of a game or you know, this, who's coaching, or you know, all that other jazz. What time you're playing, and, you know, what TV station you're on. All that stuff is for everybody else to get excited about. You know, we're a 5-3 football team that just needs to get better. That's what we are, and what we've got is an opportunity to keep getting better, and that's what we got to do. So, but I do think I think it's important that the kids have some fun, and you know, what a fun game to be a part of, and so looking forward to that. I hope that I hope it's a sellout. I'll be very disappointed if there's an empty seat in Death Valley at 7:45 on Saturday. I think there's some tickets left. I don't know how many, but I know